Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by. This is Soul Healings and my name is Dina. Today's hot topic is all about why can't I let go of this person and how do I heal and move on from this. I've had a few people ask me this, so this is a viewer's request. I made 3 piles for you guys to choose from. Your timestamps, your ways to book with me, ways to donate to the channel are in your description box below. And I always encourage you to pause the video if you need more time. And I will see you guys at your pile. Alright, pile number 1. So, why can't you let go of this person? How do you heal this? And how do you move on? It was such a beautiful question. So, right away, it's obvious to me that this connection that the two of you shared was something special here. You know, we got the Lover's card, we have the caring connection. This to me just tells me straight away that there was a bond between the two of you. And when you have a bond this real and this rare, it's hard to break free from. It really is. And again, this goes beyond the romantic, you guys. This could be a friendship, somebody in the family, something like this here. But this is a bond that runs deeper than most connections run, you know. This is not just, you know, somebody you meet and it's just, you feel it in a very intense kind of way. I do feel like the two of you are still thinking about each other in a very telepathic kind of way here. I think you guys are still communicating here. I really sense that. I really feel like the two of you are still somewhat connected here, but there's obviously been some kind of turbulence or some kind of break in this connection. For me, this was like the ending of a karmic cycle. You know, it's possible, very, very possible that there were some kind of secrets or some things left unsaid, but something obviously did come to the surface here. We have paying attention to the red flags. We have the 4 of Pentacles with this moon the moon. I'm having trouble speaking. And then we have the moon itself here. So what tells me in this kind of energy is that there must have been some kind of secrets hidden, but something was illuminated. This also can tie into like the subconscious kind of things here. There's always anxiety in this kind of energy. But there's also illusion. This is an energy that talks about illusion. So maybe it is possible, because we have the Magician card out here, that this was a connection that, even though you felt like it was a deep, serious connection, that there were things that this person may not have exposed to you right away, things that they have, you know, withheld. Maybe they have manipulated you in some sort of way here. But nonetheless, this is what's come up really to kind of shake the foundation that the two of you had to begin with, okay? Hopefully none of you were manipulated. It is very possible, but hopefully you were not manipulated in some kind of ways to feel this connection, because it does make it harder to break free from. Like, if you pull yourself away from this and you're thinking, gosh, you know, this entire connection must have been a lie, right? You know, that's kind of how I'm feeling. when you really take a step back and you really think about it, you know, I feel like that's what's come up here too. Like this whole entire connection was a lie. They weren't honest to me from the beginning. They made me feel special. They made me feel like I was the only one. But the secrets have been revealed here. Okay. There was an illusion casted over this connection, and you didn't quite see it right away. I feel like some of you guys might be carrying some kind of guilt over this situation. Like you saw the red flags, but you decided to ignore the red flags because this was so intense. And it's easy to fall into a connection like this that's so intense. It's going back into the saying that love is blind. You know, love can definitely blind you. And like I said, this was enchanting. This was what pulled you in. This is what swept you off your feet. And for some of you guys, well, most of you guys, you probably didn't even see this coming. You know, it's unfortunate that this person couldn't come to you in a way that was honest, open, sincere. I heard looking for love. They weren't really looking for love, okay, because this is tying into this romantically, but again, this still could have been a friend that's manipulated you, or a coworker, somebody that's manipulated you to the point where you just don't know anymore. You're just like, what happened here, you know? And it's very possible that, you know, this is a person that, you know, if this is a coworker situation or a friend situation, like this was a newer person and they just kind of showed up and they made you feel like you're just such a great friend and da 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 da. Next thing you know, they're reporting you to the boss, or they're telling other people things about you behind your back. You don't know it, and your one friend came and told you, you know, she said this and this and this and this, and you know, maybe that's another scenario tying through here, because that's kind of how I feel. Like there was just a lot of warning. Nonetheless, there was an illusion casted over this entire situation, and of course, with it being so enchanting, you just ignore the red flags. You guys, I have done that too before, okay? It was a very expensive lesson for me to learn, let's just say, okay? So, moving on, let's talk about how we free ourselves, because I feel like you want this more than anything with the free yourself energy, okay? So, let's discuss this, okay? First of all, in this Wilds energy, we are talking about suppression. You're suppressing your emotions. You're not really talking about it. You're not opening up here. You're probably... These two cards are really interesting to come together here, okay? Because this is like suppressing your creativity, suppressing emotions. But this is about you just releasing the pain, releasing your creativity. And I think your creativity is what's going to help you out a lot here, okay? This is the energy of like setting yourself free, okay? This is setting yourself free, whether it is that you're suppressing the emotions, maybe you're still feeling ashamed over this, some kind of hostile feelings, whatever, that cold kind of feeling inside of you, you're suppressing it, okay? One healthy way to get that out of you is to tap into your creative side, okay? Whether it is music or art or drawing, or maybe it's just time to take up a new hobby, a new skill, because by doing so, what that does is it really helps boost your independence, your self-esteem, and things like this too. And I'm really drawn into this, the fact that he's playing a musical instrument. I don't know, but for me, if maybe an outlet can be learning an instrument. I know it's a far stretch, but more importantly, I think it's about the music, okay? Music is relatable. If you really lock yourself into the words and the beats and the vibration of the music, it has a way of like pulling up anything that you're suppressing here, allowing yourself to cry, letting it come up, because crying is actually a good way to let it go. It helps you just kind of accept the past and move on. And really, after you have a really good crying session, you feel more positive. You seem to come back, back alive here, okay? But it is about, stop suppressing things here, because it's really bad. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to take this into the next chapter of your life. It's going to be a part of the next cycle of your life, okay? So it's important in this moment to heal what you got going on. You got to be patient with yourself. You don't want to force this kind of healing. Just work through it. But you have many creative outlets here. This is why I was feeling like crying, like telling you guys to cry, because crying actually is cleansing for the soul, okay? But this is a time of cleansing, mind, body, soul, and I talk about this a lot too, because I feel like sometimes if our environment is untidy, and like even the inside of our cars, like if we need to clean out our cars, things like that, it's really a reflection of our exterior world too. And by cleansing, maybe there are objects or things lying around the house that remind you of this person. So like even in your car, you want to check your car, you want to get rid of these items, their smell, their whatever, their shoes in the trunk, okay? Whatever belongs to them, it needs to be removed, because what ends up happening is that you hang on to this stuff, you're re-triggering this, and you're not allowing yourself to heal here, okay? So whatever it is that's reminding you of this person, that has to go too, okay? I know for some of you guys, you're thinking, well, that's going to be really hard for me to just get rid of their stuff. But I'm telling you, the longer you hang on to this, you're hanging on to the memory of them, the harder it is for you to heal, okay? Now, let's address this, because I feel like some of you guys are still watching social media, you're feeding that curiosity to see what they're up to. You're probably in some ways waiting around for a message from them or something like this, but this is like disconnecting from them, social media. You got to stop keeping tabs on these people, okay? Because what were to happen if they were to post tomorrow a picture of them with their new person, or a picture of them with a new BFF or whatever, however this is tying in? That's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting, okay? So you wanna unfollow them, you block them, you gotta stop keeping tabs on this person, because you're reopening a wound here, okay? So let it go. I think it's time for you to let this go. But keeping in mind that you do have something magical happening in these two energies, okay? So whether it is that you're suppressing how you're feeling, I think it's important to let this out. You have to, okay? This is a card that says setting yourself free, and this freeing yourself. So really, maybe it is that you go and talk to somebody, maybe your friends, a therapist or something like that, if you feel like it's that serious. But it's also a lot of this, this pain, this heat, this deep sorrow, all these memories that you're thinking about. I really get the feeling that this is propelling you into your life's purpose. And what I mean by that is that, as you move through this healing process, you're going to be able to share a story with other people and how you got through this, all these bad times, okay? I think you're going to be able to share this experience with people that are unfortunately going to experience the same thing you're experiencing too. And then people are going to turn to you and ask you, well, how did you get through this, okay? So, and maybe it is that you listen to sad, sappy songs that kind of help you clean and purge and cry. Or I know the guys are like, I don't cry. We don't do those kinds of things. So I know you guys don't, but you know, there's something tying in here for you in the music way. Okay, again, connecting with really good people, talking to people, expressing how you're feeling. But more importantly, if there are things in the house, your car, wherever, your workspace, your office space, something like that, it's time to clean house, okay? And stop watching them on social media, because it's gonna happen. Something's gonna pop up in your news feed or wherever, through Twitter or something like that, and it's gonna trigger you, and it's gonna keep triggering you until you realize that you have to make a clean break, okay? Stop keeping tabs, because that's gonna burn, and leave you with a lot of negative emotions. It's gonna keep you in a state of fear, a state of anxiety, and you don't want that here, okay? I think more importantly, one of the other key ingredients to this is just forgiving yourself for not paying attention to these red flags, paying attention to what they have done, forgiving what they have done to you, because again, this kind of energy has a tendency, unhealed, can be taken over into the next chapter or a new cycle, and you want to lay this to rest before you have something. You have something special on the way, so you don't want to taint it in a next loving connection here, okay, guys? This to me is tying right back into that, and how cautious you have been, not opening up, not expressing. But it's just time to clean this up, so you don't continue to hurt. You don't want to hurt yourself any longer, okay? Free yourself from this, okay? Alright, guys, I love you bunches. I'm going to leave this here, so let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about this. And if this has resonated with you and the advice sounds good, hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Alright, pile number 2. So why can't you let go of this person? How do you heal it and move on? So with this particular pile, this pile got an extra card. So for me, this can be taken a couple different ways. Some of you guys are still in this connection and you can't quite figure it out. You can't seem to make a decision, whether you stay, whether you go. And for some of you guys, you probably have already made the decision to leave here. But I'm sure this is going to tie into more ways in this particular energy, because it came out extra. So lucky pile number 2. So right away, what I'm looking at is, I feel like, oh my goodness. Okay, so what you were probably dealing with somebody who was not very fulfilled in their own life. They probably sucked you dry emotionally, mentally, physically. It's possible in this energy, guys, that they had some kind of addiction. They would do anything to fill their soul, even at the expense of hurting other people. At this point, I kind of feel like they almost didn't give a shit, okay? Now, some of this could be tying in backwards too. Not to say that you had the addiction, you were taking advantage of other people. But a part of me wants to say that it is very possible that something inside of you, it was left unfulfilled, and you felt like this connection was filling you in some way here, okay? And maybe this was a karmic lesson to teach you, about your self-worth, your self-respect. standing in your power, standing in your guard, something like that is coming through here. But for me, this was a cycle that has brought you to a brand new state of awareness about yourself, okay? Surrounding yourself with better people, good people, feeding yourself good things about yourself here. Now, this could be a romantic relationship. This could have been easily a friendship relationship. But nonetheless, this was a cycle to really bring forth a valuable lesson for you in your learning, okay? This was definitely some kind of spiritual epiphany that you've just had. I keep seeing friendship here, okay? So some of this probably was just a friendship, or it started off as a friendship, something kind of casual, something like that going on here, guys. But really what the story is telling me is that this was a situation where you were taken advantage of, somebody's greediness, somebody's selfishness, putting themselves first. And I really, with this here, let me get this out of here so you can understand what I'm saying here, and tying that into the hole in the soul card back there, guys. Okay, so what this is telling me is that there has somebody who has possibly, sucked you financially dry to feed their own addictions here. Okay, they're very, like I said, they're very, very empty. And when somebody is empty, they will do anything to numb out the pain. They will do anything to fill that hole in their heart. But I really do feel like this person has just taken you for a joyride, and you're left sitting there going, what just happened? What just happened? Okay, this is you sitting in your energy, giving. You weren't receiving enough in this energy too, which also can kind of tell me that with you giving so much, you've left, I said that earlier, you've left yourself in a state of like emptiness. You're completely empty. Okay? So this was a very, very important karmic lesson, again, that you've learned here. Okay? I can see that you are a very loving individual, obviously very patient. You thought that you can trust the other the people that you were dealing with, the person that you were dealing with, you thought you could trust yourself, your own intuition. I think your intuition was telling you that, if I give and I give and I give, they'll love me more. They'll respect me more. And if I give and I give and I give some more, they'll never leave me. They'll never hurt me, right? This is what you're telling yourself, okay? This is all about self-esteem. This is all about you learning a hard lesson in your self-worth and your self-respect, okay? Trust me. We all have to learn this lesson at one point in time in our lives. We don't all learn it at the same time, but we learn it somewhere along on our journey here, okay? But this was a very profound lesson, okay? So here you are. We got to get you back to loving yourself, getting you back into the zest for life, okay? We're talking about your third chakra here, okay? For some of you guys, you are so depleted over this connection and what it's done to you, seriously. But here's where the healing has to take place. First of all, we need to be working on your third chakra, okay? This is where all the magic in your belly happens, okay, guys? We got to get this spinning in the right direction. Because I think you're pushing things away. You're pushing away opportunities. You're denying yourself of chances. You're denying yourself of anything right now because you're afraid. You're afraid that it's gonna happen again. Okay, but I like what this is saying, taking off your mask and I can't read, unleashing your creativity, because what this is telling me is that you've had to get honest with yourself. It was kind of interesting too, because in this card, she has a mask and she's got a mask too. So I think what's happening in this energy is that it's just time for you to get honest with yourself here. Okay. Again, they're tying this right back into, your self-worth, remembering that you're worth better anyways. You're going to be looking forward into the future. I feel like there's a lot of resistance on moving forward. Okay, so I'm getting kind of caught in that moment with you. But what I'm gathering overall is that you have to look for the lesson in this, okay? There's a lesson in every phase of your life. And with this being so heavy, this was a very hard-hitting lesson with some very, very important things to be learned, okay? I usually think that sometimes the harder the lesson, the bigger the breakthroughs that we have about ourselves and who we are here, okay? But I feel like you guys have been doing this for many cycles, many lifetimes, okay? This is why you're still in this connection with this person. But you get to decide from now on, that's why it's coming out. Do I stay? Do I go? And then if you're already out of this connection, what do I do to get further away from this connection? Because I feel like some of you just want to never come back to this, right? So first of all, I want you to remember that you guys have been doing this for many of lifetimes. And the minute you find the lesson and you work through all the lessons, this ends this karmic contract, okay, guys? That's very important here. Otherwise, you're going to continue to have this kind of energy show up again and again and again in your life, and possible lifetimes in the future. So, so where's your lesson in this? And a lot of this, I'm telling you right now, is about your self-worth, your self-respect, okay? You don't have to give so much of yourself to people to the point where there's nothing left to you, okay? If you have people and you attract people into your life that just take and take and take, that's because you're not setting any boundaries with people. You're not telling them, hey, listen, calling me at 3:30 in the morning for, cash or sex or whatever is really overstepping your boundaries with me. I have standards, and I'm gonna, this is about you keeping your standards really high with people. Not allowing people to take advantage of you, walk all over you, things like this. I don't care who they are, friends, family, romantic partners, whoever decides to try this, right? Okay? So just remember, you have to find a lesson in this for yourself too, besides what I feel like I'm talking about here, okay? Support. This is about you reaching out and talking to people, okay? Connecting with good people. Just remembering that you're not alone in this process, I think will help bring in some healing for you. Doing things in a very creative kind of way. I was talking about this in pile number 1. But, tapping into, music, maybe painting and drawing, and just doing things in a creative kind of way, For me, I feel like, here's creativity too, guys, okay? And need a little bit more music, but I think it's just understanding that when you listen to music and you turn it on, whoever wrote the music has had the same experience you have had. This is why you connect to it, okay? You connect to the words. You're connecting to the vibration of the song. And this is why you should, you should kind of realize that this is another stranger. This is a stranger to you. Seeing your story, you know what I mean? So just understand that you're not the only one who goes through things like this in their life here, okay? But it is about being creative right now. There's a lot of creativity coming through, so, and I think this is what's going to help reignite the zest inside of you, okay? I think that hanging out with your friends, connecting with good people. Some of you guys, I feel like you're struggling, like, to move on from this person, but like this rebound, like you're afraid to have this rebound person come into your life, okay? I just want to say, don't deny yourself from anything coming towards you, okay? Don't deny yourself, but make sure that you've done and you've worked on the healing part of this here. I think a lot of this too is like pampering yourself, getting back into your self-love, your self-care. Maybe it is that it's time to have a vacation with some friends here. Maybe it's something as simple as like going out with your friends for a movie night, a day at the spa. The guys, if you're a dude and you're watching, maybe it is just, you know, hang out with somebody. It's football season, depending. Well, yeah, it's football season, so maybe hanging out, you know, watching some football with the boys, going fishing, that kind of thing. Just connecting with the right kind of people here, okay? But making sure that you're feeding the hole in your soul with something healthy, something creative, leaning on people. Stop, and I feel like it just right here when it says just, you know, just asking, I feel like some of you guys don't even want to like lean on your friends, but I think this is a very healthy alternative to it. Like you don't want to pull your friends into the middle of your problems, but like I get that, but at least there, you know, try to just fill your life with people that are gonna support you and not tear you down here, okay? And this is also, you know, talking about the connection that you have to your spirit guides and your angels, and just remembering to ask them, because, you know, we have this free will aspect, but basically what you want to ask them is to intervene and help you and show you any more healing tools and stuff like this too. And they're definitely going to show up with signs and stuff, you guys, so be on the lookout for that too. But more importantly, just stay positive and move forward, and try not to fall back into this trap or this cycle. You know, when you're going to be tested again on this again, like in different ways with different people, different scenarios and stuff like this. So it's going to be important, you know, to kind of ask yourself, where's your self-worth, your self-respect, where are your boundaries with people, you know? And again, don't feed yourself any toxic people, any toxic behaviors just to make yourself feel whole there, okay? It's very, very important, okay? All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. You let me know how you're feeling about this. This is gonna help you definitely move on. And if this, you know, if this has resonated with you, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, what's going on, plan number 3? So why can't you let go of this person, and how do you heal and move on from this situation? Okay, so right away, here's what I'm picking up here. I'm gonna pick these up so you guys can see and understand what I'm talking about here. Well, there wasn't enough love in this connection, enough chemistry, not enough give and take, something like that. There's probably a lot of disagreements, arguments, something like this, unspoken truths, something like that is coming through behind the scenes of what's going on here. But right out of the gate, you know, when I see that wheel in reverse, I don't feel like any of you guys have gained any kind of closure, okay? Some of you guys are still looking for closure. You're still waiting for this person to come back and talk to you. You're still waiting for them to apologize, make things right, something along those lines. But this is a karmic situation that has not been closed, or you don't feel like it's closed, or you're just really wanting some closure here, okay? You're really thinking about the good old days of this situation too. You know, you're kind of stuck on it. You're thinking about all the things that went wrong, the couldas, the wouldas, the shouldas. But there wasn't enough give and take here, okay? For me, this Nine of Pentacles in reverse is like somebody didn't know their own self-worth here. There wasn't. It's like smack dab in all of these cards too, okay, guys? So, you know, like one of yous wanted to move this connection along, the other one didn't here, okay? But this is moving on into a different direction, different directions from each other, because what was happening in between the two of you guys wasn't very happy, okay? This is usually that emotional and physical and everything, everything was in perfect alignment at one point, but something just shifted between the two of you, okay? That caused this to be gone. And I feel like some of you guys were just like completely ghosted, really ghosted in this, and I think that's bogus. So really what this is coming down to, this is a matter of you gaining control of your emotions, seeing yourself in your self-worth, and absolutely respecting yourself here, okay? But I think you guys, if you're waiting for this person to come back and kind of apologize, and you're hanging on to that idea that you're not going to be able to move on and close this chapter of your life out without that, I think you really kind of need to think about that again here, okay? You're going to be able to close this chapter out and move on with your life without having that person come back and talk to you. I know it might feel better if they did, but I don't really feel like they're going to do that, okay? I think this energy for me right here is about you pushing yourself through the storm, getting serious and honest about yourself here, okay? Because this is kind of locking you into that victim mentality. Like, oh, she did this to me and he did that to me, and I'm the victim, and this person just left me. They left us and our kids, you know, just sitting here, you know. This is why you have to close the chapter of this on your own without the apology, okay? Because it's going to keep you trapped in this victim mentality, okay? A victim consciousness. And you don't have to have their apology. You don't have to have that heart-to-heart conversation with them, because this is a matter of you loving yourself right now, okay? This is a matter of your self-respect, putting your self-esteem, picking up your self-esteem here and being like, you know what? Bye, close the door, right? This is what this Strength card is telling you to do here. And if they want to come back and apologize, well, whatever, you know, whatever. But this is why this has been so hard for you. It's because you think that they need to come back and talk to you or apologize. You're waiting for them to come back so you can close this chapter and move on with life. Move on. But what is happening here too is the fact that you're denying yourself of any chances of love to come through here. Okay, you're keeping yourself in a very low vibrational state here. I know for some of you guys in this temptation energy, that's like being tempted to either go off on them, being tempted to in some ways, this temptation is like just in a way, it feels like revenge. Like, I'm just gonna get revenge. Like, I'll just sleep with his best friend, so he can experience, or she can experience what this person has put me through. Something like this. I almost feel like you're tempted to get revenge, and revenge is not healthy here. I think it's just important that you realize that this has been a difficult cycle. You have to be the one in control of closing out this cycle. You have to move through the sadness, move through this healing. And all of this is going to take time, okay? But the longer you hang on to that, wanting to get revenge, or you're playing the victim game here, the longer this is going to drag on and on and on and on. And this is going to start to affect other things in your life, not just romantically, So anyways, we have playfulness. Again, I love when playfulness energy comes out, because this tells me that this is about you tapping back into your inner child, listening to music, playing music on the radio. I was explaining this in piles 1, possibly, I think I said it in piles number 2. But the music is good for healing. Music is just really good for really tapping into the words, bringing up emotions, allowing yourself to cry, or whatever, But music is a good way to kind of nurture yourself at this time. Being playful about this, trying not to take things too seriously. Definitely connecting with people that are good for you. I think I've said that in piles 1, 2, and 3. But this is like, tapping into people who are, or just for surrounding yourself with people who are going to love you unconditionally here, okay? I think that's a huge key ingredient to helping you heal this, is just accepting the fact that this is gone, okay? Accepting that it's over. It's like you're holding on to so much resentment here, a lot of grief in this energy, but you're letting it control your life here. This is what I would consider being jaded, okay? I feel like you're jaded, and you're jaded because it didn't go so well, okay? But like I said, you guys, you're in control of this energy right now. You can move on by loving yourself, okay? Look at all this love. That's, you know what? Look at all this love that you have, If you're hanging on to resentment for what has happened, you're not allowing love to come through here, okay? So this is why I was saying you're kind of denying yourself that chance for real love, So the quicker you close out this chapter of your life, the better, But it is, again, by, not standing in that victim mentality, not being tempted to, like, hold on to those grudges, or, doing things to them just to get even, because then karma has a funny way of coming back around and biting you in the butt, okay? So if you're trying to close out this chapter by getting even with somebody else, it's not going to work out that way. It's just going to affect you eventually, okay? Some of you guys need to be cutting off this person from social media. I feel like you've been watching them, you're spying on them. Pile number 1 was guilty of this, clear as day, but I feel like you're doing it too. I think you're keeping tabs on this individual. And the longer you keep tabs on this individual, the longer the pain and the hurt. This is what's creating a lot of sadness. And I was telling pile number 1, if they meet somebody new, or they're with their new BFF, or whatever the scenario here is, you see this go through your timeline, it's going to crush you. and it's going to crush you. And then you're going to want to get in touch with the person that you see in the picture, right? Because there's just this animosity, this I gotta get revenge. You guys have got to accept the fact that this is something that's over, okay? And you don't need their apology. You guys are wanting this communication from them. You don't need this from them, because it's holding you in a state of sadness, okay? That's really what it's doing. You're locking yourself from moving forward and closing out your own. You can do this, okay? You can do this. This here to me makes me feel like, there's a lot of lessons to have been learned in this karmic cycle. This is a very heavy karmic contract. The two of you, yes, you did decide to have this show up into your life, okay? So that's one other piece of this I think I need to throw in here, is that you've actually asked this to show up into your life, okay? Because this is a healing. This is a schoolroom. This is teaching you how to work through. This is your spiritual growth, how you're going to work through it, how you're going to evolve here, okay? I can get into a whole video on that, but you did ask for this to show up, okay? But something else that's coming through is to how this is going to help you navigate, how to help you navigate through the healing process of this is the idea that, maybe this is, taking on a new skill, maybe journaling, maybe writing a letter to this person. You don't have to send it to them, but you can burn it. With us, the intensity of the moons lately, Friday 13th moon, this is timeless energy, by the way, guys, but using the full moon's energy to work with, writing down how you're feeling and then burning it. Maybe writing a book about it, just don't go blasting it on social media, because I feel like this is what somebody is trying. I'm not saying this for everybody, but I feel in my heart that somebody has been so tempted to just blast this person on social media really hard, and it keeps coming up, and I'm trying my hardest to ignore it, okay? But maybe this is just about you going back to school, getting maybe a degree in something, a new hobby, but doing something that's going to boost your independence, and then you can go and show yourself off, be like, hey, I did this without you, I did this without you, playa. I didn't need you around. I did this by myself, and it's going to boost your self-esteem, So explore this too. Explore this. It's a good way to get your mind off of this person or somebody, whoever did this to you, I do that. This energy, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it sucks. It really sucks. It hurts. This for me, I feel it on a personal level. And I actually have little scenarios of how this is tied into my life too. So, this is why I became a coach, because there's so many different ways to navigate through this kind of pain, and how do you move on, and what can you do, but really, you guys, accept the fact that this is long gone. Don't sit around waiting for them to come back, and don't wait for them. Move on with your life, okay? Because the longer you hang on to this and you don't accept it, the longer you sit there, and this resentment's going to continue to build up. You're going to feel a whole lot of grief. You're going to stay jaded. It's going to roll over to new, relationships and stuff like that. So you got a little bit of work to do, but I'm here, okay? So if you need some help with that, just let me know, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. And if this has resonated with you, let me know, and make sure to give the video a thumbs up. See you next time. Bye.